Hi, my name is Min, and in my spare time, I like to knit and crochet. Today, I'm going to teach you how to crochet a hacky sack that can also be used as a stress ball. A little bit about myself. I learned how to crochet in my junior year of high school from my calculus teacher, who was formerly a NASCAR driver. He taught me the basics of calculus as well as the basic of crocheting. Anyway, let's get started. And here are all the items that you will need to begin the project. I have here a J crochet hook, so J size crochet hooks. I also have some peaches and cream yarn. They're really nice, but if you want to go for the more fancy one, you can always get sugar and cream. And I also have some popcorn kernel here that you can use as filling. You can also use lentil, rice, beans, whatever you have in your cupboards. Now, to begin how to make a hacky sack, what you're gonna actually need to do is to form a magic ring. And basically what that is creating a single row of crochet in a circular form. And how I usually start this is by wrapping my yarn around my fingers. From here, you make an X. So I'm going to do that very slowly one more time. I have my yarn here. I'm going to wrap it around my index and middle fingers. And I'm going to flip over and I'm going to cross over. From here, you're going to take your hook and slide it under the first loop, pull through, and when you pull through, you basically forming a slip knot that I showed you earlier. And then from here, you're going to pull another one in. And this make your first single crochet. From there, I'm gonna hold it tight. I'm gonna go back under the loop. And here's my ball of yarn string. I'm going to make a second crochet and I'm gonna pull through, and that will make another single crochet. So I have made 2 at this point. Now for our hacky sack, we need to make 6. So again, I'm gonna go through, pull through, and then again pull another one through. That make 3. Pull through, to make 4. Here's my 4th one. Here's my 5th one. And here's my 6th. And that's what you need to make. You need to make a total of 6 single crochet. So right here, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what we need. Now, usually after this part, I pull the tail, and this gonna create the loop. So when you pull the tail, you actually tighten the very end, and this forms the circle. So right now, I have a circle of 6 single crochet, which hence give the name of the magic circle. So now that you have your magic circle, which is our first row of 6 single stitches, we're gonna go on to create our second row, which consists of 12 stitches. So 6 times 2 give you 12. So basically you're gonna put 12 or 2 stitches in every 1 single stitch. So basically what that means is that you're gonna go in, and right here, I'm gonna go in through this, right here. You're gonna go in the bottom one, right here. You're gonna put in one stitch, one single stitch. And then you're gonna go back in and create another single stitch. Giving you 2 stitch in 1 single stitch. So that's 2 stitches. And this is what you call a double stitch. Now you're gonna repeat that around all 6 or all the 5 remaining stitches. So again, going in, 1, create 1 stitch, and then going in again, 2 stitches. So right now I have 4 stitches in my second row. And I'm gonna do it one more time so you guys can see. 1 stitch. 2 stitch. So now I have completed my second round, and for your third round you want to make a total of 18 stitches. So how do we get from 12 to 8? Well, if you know your math, you probably can guess. But basically, you are going to put 2 double stitches into the first stitch, and then you're going to do a single stitch. And that will be the pattern all the way around the circle. So let me show you how to do it. So basically, you can go in to your first stitch here. That's 1. Here's my second one in the same stitch. Now for the next stitch that's along this line, I'm gonna put in just 1 stitch. So now we have a total of 3. Again, we're gonna do the exact same thing for the next one. So you're gonna put a double stitch in here, so 1, 2, and here's the, now you want, once you have 2 in, you're gonna put in just 1 single stitch to the next one. Now, let me show you that one more time to make sure that you got it. You're gonna put 2 stitch into this 1 single stitch here. So, 1, 2, and now you can put just 1 single stitch into this one. So if you've been following, I would have made a total of 9 stitches now. And I'm gonna complete this whole circle around off screen. I'll see you for the 4th round. So now I have a total of 18 stitches for my 3rd round. We're gonna move on to the 4th round. Now the 4th round asks you to make a total of 24 stitches. So if you have been following me, the next logical explanation to how you get from 18 to 24 is that you put 2 single stitches again, or you can call it a double stitch, 2 single stitches into 1 stitch, which create a double stitch, and then you're gonna skip 1, 2, and you skip it by just doing 1 single stitch in each one. You're not gonna do 2. And then you're gonna, again, follow, and you're gonna put 2 double stitches, or 2 single stitches, which is a double stitch, into 1 single stitch. One more time, just to be clear, you're gonna put 1 single stitch here, and then another single stitch. If you've been counting, I have made a total of 8 stitches by now. I'm gonna complete the rest and see you back for round 5. So now I have completed my 4th round. Now I'm going to do my 5th round, and in the 5th round there is a total of 30 stitches. So following the same pattern, we're gonna put double stitches in the first one, and then we're going to skip a total of 1, 2, 3. We're just doing single stitches before you make another double stitch. So let's do it. We're going to put double stitches here. 1, 2. Now that's 2. Here's my first single stitch in a new stitch. Here's my second single stitch in the second new one. And here's my third single stitch in the third new one. So if you count, we could actually make a total of 5 stitches. 2 single stitch, which is a double stitch in the first one, and then subsequent 3 single stitches in the 3 following stitches. I'll just do it one more time. So you're gonna go in and do 2. 1, 2, and those both are in the same stitch. Now you're gonna skip to the next one and do just 1 single stitch. Make it 3. Here's the 4th one in a new single stitch. That's my 4th, and here's my 5th. That create a total of 5 in total. Now if you go all the way around, you would make a total of 30 stitches, like the instruction. So now that I finished my 5th round of stitches, the magic circle that we started out, it actually looked kind of like a hexagon with 6 sides, if you notice. So here's one side, here's another one, and if you go around, you notice it's 6-sided, with each single side having 5 single stitches, and 5 times 6 is equal to 30. Now for the next few round 6 to 13, they're single stitches. So basically you will just do single stitches into every single one of these all around for a total of 240 stitch. So how I usually like to do it is I would put a safety pin right here, and every time I do a round completed, I move the pin to the next one and to the next one until I reach my 13th round around. So hopefully you guys can do that. I'll start off with a few single stitches you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one side of it, and just continue. And I'll see you back here for the 14th round. Well, hi, welcome back. I was able to make a total of 240 stitches, and at this point you can see that it kind of looked like a hacky sack or a stress ball. And now we're gonna move on to round 14. Now round 14 requires you to do some half stitches. So if a double stitch is putting 2 single stitch into 1 stitch, a half stitch is combining 2 stitches via 1 single stitch. And for round 14, we are making a total of 24 stitches around. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do a single stitch. You put your needle through the stitch, pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to go back in and put another one through. So at this point you should have 3 loops onto your hook, and then you're gonna pull through to make that 1 single stitch. And that's how you start decreasing the amount of stitch around from 30 to 24. Now, again, similarly, you're gonna put 1 stitch in for the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, and now you're going to do that half stitch again. So you're going to go in 1, but instead of pulling through, you're gonna go in for another one, and now you have 3 loops on your hook, and you're gonna pull through to make 1 single stitch. 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to show you that single stitch one more time. 1, and now you have 3 loops on, and you're going to pull through like that. Okay, let's see, and I'll see you back here for round 15. Okay, so now that I have finished my round 14, I'm going to start my round 15. And very similarly, we will be doing double stitches to decrease the amount of stitches we have, and also closing off the hacky sack. So for the round 15, we have a total of 18 stitches. So very similarly, we're going to start off with a half stitch. So again, we're gonna go pull through, 2 loops, pull through, 3 loops, and now I'm gonna pull all that together into 1 single loop. Now, for the next 2, we're going to just do single stitches like before. So that's 1. Here's the second one. And now we're gonna do our half stitch again. So pull through, and then pull through, another half stitch, and single stitch, and another single stitch. And to demonstrate the half stitch one more time, pull through, pull through, there you go. And now I'm about halfway through my round 15. Okay, so welcome back. I just finished my round 15 and I have a total of 18 stitches around. And at this point, you want to start filling your hacky sack. So as you can see on the inside, there's my little string that we had from the very beginning that pull and tighten, and I just want to make sure that I really tighten as much as I can to close it off right now. So you can see that it's tight once I pull it. Well, the next step is I'm going to fill. So I have my kernel of popcorn here, and I'm gonna start filling it. And you don't want to fill all the way up there because you're going to still be crocheting. I'm filling right now about halfway, or almost like, I would say 2/3 of the way there. So there, I fill that with my popcorn. And I think I'm going to add just maybe another spoonful just in case. So this is how much you want to fill it. I would say 3/4 of the way, I guess, but you don't want to be completely full. So now for round 16, we're going to do very similarly. At this point, we're going to decrease it down to a total of 12 stitches around. So that would mean that we would do single stitches for 2. So that would be a half stitch here. So 1 half stitch, a second half stitch, and you pull through, and just a single normal stitch here, and almost you are alternating at this point. So another half stitch, and pull through, and a single stitch. So I just made 4, and I'm going to do another one. Half stitch, and then just single stitch. At this point, I think I'm gonna fill up the hacky sack with just a little bit more of the filling, and this is the popcorn. And now, basically, I'm just going to do half stitches all the way until it closes. So, here's my half stitch. Here's another one. And you're gonna do this all the way around until it closes. There you go. Almost nearing the end. And I think I'm going to do actually another one. Okay, so close. We just need some few more in there. So, single stitches. And I think I want to do another one just to make sure. Okay, pull through, and we're almost done. Okay, so now that we are almost done with our hacky sack, this is what it should look like. I have my pair of scissors right here because I'm going to basically tie it off and just snip it. I would always advise to leave some room because we can always, well, it's a hacky sack, so leave some room for it. And I would also take out a little bit more of the yarn. So I'm gonna cut it here. And you should have this much of the tail. left. So now I'm gonna use my hook and go through and just pull through. Put a very simple closing, pull through, tighten it. You want to really push it down. And at this point, there's two ways of doing things. You can always put it in, sewing it in a little further. And this is what I usually do to make sure that if anything fall off or if it ever come undone, I can always have extra string to pull through. And I would do this about 3 or 4 times just to make sure that like it is secure. I do it one more. Just simple loop. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be anywhere. The point of this is just to secure as much as possible. And now I'm at the very end tail. And I'm gonna snip it. I'm gonna snip it actually a little bit farther away. And you can actually put this in. And you can just sew it in real tightly. And I usually do this just by pushing the thread in. I'm gonna put all of it in, just push it in. Oops. There we go. Put more. All the way in. And voila, we have our own little hacky sack as well as a stress ball. Yay! Very floppy, but there you go. That's how you do it.